The clamor for federalism, local government autonomy, community policing, and devolution of power dominated the nationwide public hearings conducted yesterday by the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution. However, while the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Sahad Abubakar, called for the removal of the immunity clause in the Constitution, the Ondo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, advocated the scrapping of the Senate to make the federal legislature unicameral as one of the ways of reducing the cost of governance. Plateau, Benue, and Nasarawa states have also unanimously demanded devolution of power in a manner that the states will be given more powers and finance considering their enormous responsibilities. At Akure, one of the two venues of the public hearing for the Southwest Zone, Akeredolu said devolution of power through federalism, state police, among others, as presented last week to the State Committee on Constitutional Review, were germane in restructuring the country. Akeredolu, who was represented by his deputy, Mr. Lucky Ayedetiwa, also advocated that membership of the National Assembly should be part-time. He said, the membership of the National Assembly should be part-time. No member should earn allowances not known to the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation Committee, and more importantly, people they claim to serve. Legislators should earn under a uniform salary structure. Allowance peculiarities must not be obscenity. The Senate should be scrapped. The House of Representatives too should not be unwittingly. A maximum of 4 representatives should come from each zone. The governor also advocated the decentralization of the Supreme Court. He said, the Supreme Court should be decentralized to ease the current burden on the appellate court. In a true federal state, there should be a Supreme Court whose decisions are final in residual matters. The Supreme Court at the center should concern itself mainly with issues bordering on constitutional interpretations and matters arising between and among the states and the federal government, as well as revenue generation by the federal government. It should also administer the National Judicial Council. In Bauchi, the state governor, Senator Bala Abdul Kadir Mohammed, stated that Nigeria needed a workable and an acceptable constitution to serve the interests of the people. Such a document, he added, should allow for true federalism where Nigerian states are autonomous entities with power to run their affairs. The governor also appealed to the House Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution to look into the various agitations of the state and reflect them in its report. According to him, the participatory approach by the National Assembly in the amendment of the Constitution is expected to produce a people's constitution that will address the socio-economic problems in the country. He added that Nigeria must break from the command structure imposed on the country by the defunct military government, which concentrated enormous power at the centers as manifested in the 1999 Constitution. The constituent unit of the Nigerian Federation, represented by the current 36 states, the FCT, and the 774 local government areas, are near to the people that must be given enough powers with resources in order to positively impact the lives of the people at the grassroots, he stated. In Lagos, the governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, restated his calls for a special economic status for the state owing to its status and the economic epicenter of the nation and the burden it bears. He said at the Southwest Zonal public hearing that the continuous request for a special status for the state was by no means a selfish one, but stemmed from the interests of every Nigerian in the state. He stated that progress and prosperity of Nigeria as a nation is linked to that of Lagos State. Earlier, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, while urging Nigerians to take the ongoing constitutional amendment seriously, he said the process of review and amendment would give the nation a near-perfect constitution. He expressed optimism that such a new constitution will resolve the issue of identity, political structure, human rights, administration of government, resource control, national security, and so much else that has made our nation fragile and that has hindered our progress and prosperity. He added, the 1999 constitution is as a result of a hurried national compromise that Nigeria entered into 2 decades ago just to allow the military vacate the political scene and return to the barracks. It has also been our intention that one day, as one people, would return to amend this document to give voice to the yearnings of the Nigerian people. In Enugu, the governor, Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, reiterated his administration's unwavering commitment to an egalitarian Nigeria where justice, fairness, equity, and inclusiveness shall be functional directive principles of the state policy. The governor had declared the state government's support for amending the constitution to enhance the nation's quest for unity and prosperity in an environment where justice, fairness, and equity shall prevail. Declaring open the Southeast Zonal Public Hearing in Enugu, the governor joined all institutions, civil society organizations, stakeholders, and the entire Enugu state citizenry to stand up and be counted in this important national discussion. Women groups, organizations, and labor unions made varying submissions on how to improve the constitution. Labor unions demanded autonomy for local governments, the legislature, and the judiciary for improved service delivery autonomy. Also, women groups called for gender parity and inclusion to allow women to participate actively in governance and decision-making. On his part, the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Sa'ad Abubakar, called for the removal of the immunity clause in the constitution, saying it will compel leaders to live up to their responsibilities. He also advocated a constitutional rule for traditional rulers, saying it was time Nigerians talk frankly on how they want the country to be managed. Addressing stakeholders at the Kebbi Zonal hearing, comprising Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara states, the Sultan attributed the crisis in the country to the relegation of traditional rulers as they were given no constitutional role to play. He said before the Nigerian nation came into being in 1914, the traditional institution had existed. He said, one of the controversial issues which I feel strongly about is the immunity clause. When you are immune, nobody can take you to court as a leader, and it means that you can do whatever you want to do. You can claim to be God. But when that immunity is removed and you are made to live in a society where people are taken to court for abuse of office, I think our leaders here will wake up. Let us see how to tinker with the immunity clause. This one is quite interesting. It's part of what should be put in the law. This immunity has to be taken away. I think the Sultan has spoken well. Well, guys, let's hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Until I come your way again with more updates. Bye.